right, so you know you're supposed to be on Twitter, you know you're supposed to be engaging with your community, but one of the questions we hear all the time here on the Pulse on Marketing is, hey, I kind of want more followers, or, well, I also want this tweet in particular to get a little more buzz, and I want people to retweet it, and I want people to send it out. Well, one way to do that is by way of Twitter advertising, but that's another question all upon itself. And actually, that's the one that we're going to be tackling today. And here to do that, actually, he broke it down pretty well in an excellent post called Twitter Paid Advertising, the Good and the Bad. And honestly, the post is exactly that. It breaks it down perfectly, just like that. We welcome in Simon Karachian. Simon, welcome into the show. How are you doing today?
Doing pretty good. Thanks for having me.
Excellent. So for the folks out there, give us a little background. What's your experience with Twitter advertising? How did this post kind of come to fruition, really?
Yeah, so I run my own blog right now, and I write about different articles regarding, marketing online, digital advertising, the latest in social media. So I'm always trying to find, good ideas to blog about. And a couple of weeks ago, Twitter sent me this coupon for $100 to test out their promotional products. And so immediately I thought that's a great opportunity to, test that Twitter advertising and see what it's all about with the good and the bad. And that's kind of what led me to write the article.
Excellent. I was going to say, when you say the good, the bad, I feel like, that good, the bad, the ugly theme song is going to be playing in the background while we go through this. That would be perfect. But okay, so let's talk about some of your findings. So you got that coupon, $100 to spend basically how you wanted to. Talk about what you do. How did you break it up? What did you find?
Yeah, so advertising on Twitter is pretty simple. You essentially have two options. And the first one is promote your account. And that's where you want to, gain more followers. So Twitter grabs your profile and puts you in the who to follow section. So more people see your account, there's a greater opportunity for people to start following you. And then the second option is promoting your tweets. So that's if you have, this really great tweet, you want to promote, like a new blog post, or you want to promote, anything. Like you want people to see this great tweet that you have. And you can either pick your tweets, or Twitter gives you the opportunity for them to pick your most engaging tweets, and they display it in the people's timeline so that they can engage with it, click on it, favorite it. If there's a link, for them to go to that link. So, and then for the article, I want to get a good feel of both. So I tried to spend around $50, give or take, on each of those.
Okay, so you split it down the middle. You said, okay,
Yes.
I'm putting 50 here, 50 there. Talk about what you find. Was there any results from it? I mean, $100 or $50 really for each doesn't really seem like too much. Was that the case?
Definitely. The $100 went, in the blink of an eye. So it lasted probably less than 24 hours.
Really?
And it wasn't even live for 24 hours. So it was like off and on for a day. And I ended up getting 26 followers. So that's about, $2 per follower, per new follower, and 42 interactions with one of my tweets. So that's, a little bit more than $1 per tweet.
Now, with that in mind, one of the things you had put in the post that I thought was interesting was, you actually were very hyper-focused too with the people. You were focused in on, I believe it was Seattle as well as San Francisco. Talk about that. Do you think, had you skewed, say, okay, fine, all of the U.S., I don't care who the followers are, does that change anything? I know that you didn't do that for this post in particular, but do you think that would change at all?
Definitely, 100%. So if I kept it really broad, like the whole Twitter universe, I'm sure my conversion rates would have been much cheaper. So each click on each new follower and each new click would have been probably half the cost, or maybe even less. But the fact that I kept it to just two cities definitely drove up the cost.
Well, what's interesting about that is you could probably look at it and say, well, you know what, I could probably get a bunch of 13-year-old Justin Bieber fans out in Miami if I really wanted to, right? I mean, that's the way it could end up working. But for
Exactly.
brands, what's interesting about that, and what you really say, that actually gives them, it sounds, the opportunity to really hyper-focus, specifically for local brands, right? I mean, you look at massive conglomerates, of course they want followers, but some of the local, mom and pop stores, if they want to focus in on, local people who are, say, in the Seattle region or in the San Francisco region, that's definitely beneficial. Is that what you see it as well?
Yeah, definitely. I think that's one of the great features about it is you can really hone in on a specific location. So if you are a local store, you can only have, get followers from that one city or one state. So you're not going to get, people from across the world, people that, really have no chance of being a customer or of interest to you. So the conversions that you get are relevant and will help you out. And so I thought that was definitely a big plus in the Twitter advertising.
Now, which way would you be leaning? Would you be leaning more towards promoted accounts or promoted tweets or promoted posts, if you will?
I think it depends. If I was a business and let's say I'm just starting out, I'm just opening up a new shop in a city, I would definitely want to get the word out about myself first and foremost. So maybe in that situation, I would want to gravitate more towards the promoting the account so that people start following me, start engaging with these new followers, and build up a customer base. But if I'm already established and let's say I have like a sale that's coming up or a new product or a special for the day, then definitely the promoting your tweet would be the way to go so that you're promoting a specific product or service or special that you have. So it just kind of depends on what you're going for.
Definitely. I mean, and I'm sure every business is going to be different and really what they're really looking for at that point in time. So we talked quite a bit about the good. We touched upon the bad about how fast the money seems to go really quickly. I mean, I suppose if you were a conglomerate with a big chunk of dough in that bank that says, okay, I can spend any budget I really want, that's fine. But for those local stores, that's going to be a little tougher. Talk a little bit more about some of the bad, some of the things that you didn't necessarily like. I know one of the things that you mentioned in your post happens to be the metrics, the dashboard, really.
Yeah, I thought that the dashboard was really limited. It did a great job of up to the second statistics, so you could just log in at any time, and up to that minute you can see this is how many impressions, clicks, and conversions, and this is how much I paid for it. But at the same time, I got 26 followers, but I have no idea who they are, if they're still around, what they're doing. I don't know if they came from Seattle, San Francisco, male, female, and any kind of demographic information regarding them. And then also for the clicks on my tweet, I don't know if they clicked on the link, they just retweeted it or favorited it. So it doesn't go into really big detail on those metrics. And I think that's a big opportunity missed. But I would caveat that by saying that the dashboard I saw was different than if you sign up for a business account on Twitter, they do have a more engaging dashboard in that scenario. But for the average Twitter user, the dashboard that is available is very limited.
So, Saman, I guess the last question I probably have to ask for you, I mean, for people out there, is it worth it? I mean, you talked about big businesses that you could definitely see them utilizing it. Is it worth it, though? I mean, honestly, in your opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I think it just depends. And my opinion is if you're using Twitter to promote your personal account, you're not affiliated with the business. To me, it wasn't helpful at all. Like the 26 followers and the 42 interactions with my tweet, there's no like quantifiable value in what that provided me. Like I don't know what those followers are doing today, who they were. So in that scenario, I would say it's not worth it. But if I was a business, if I was a small business or even a larger business, I think that I do see opportunity there, especially if you were, let's say, advertising on Twitter mobile or just, want to get the word out about your company. I would give Twitter a slice of your marketing pie. I would give a little slice of it to spend a little bit on it.
Awesome. I dig it, man. Awesome. Saman, thank you so much for dropping by the show. Really appreciate it. For the folks out there who want to learn more, want to read your stuff, how can they get in touch with you? I mean, I know you're all over the place at this point in time. So where's the one spot at this point in time that you want people to find you?
Yeah, my personal blog is www.sorelevant.org, and you can find me on social media today and also on Twitter at Saman Kaur, Kour.
Awesome, Saman. Great stuff. We'll catch up with you soon, my friend.
Great. Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Without a question. There you go, folks. He's just so relevant. I hope you guys have learned a thing or two about Twitter, specifically about Twitter advertising. For Saman, I'm Tyler Pipen of the Pulse Network here on the Pulse on Marketing.